Everybody, welcome back to the channel. The main event here. Today we're going to be going over all the Pokemon that are new and returning in Regulation E, the Teal mask. We're going to be tearing them off. So before we get started, question of the day: which Pokemon is not getting a strong enough look for Reg E? Pretty sure you guys have seen some tier lists already. So you see where people are kind of ranking things. Don't suggest something like Ogerpon, which is getting all the looks. Let me know something that you think is getting underviewed right now. So let's start with what we got right here. So we have Arbok. Arbok is gonna go in D. It just doesn't have the stats. It doesn't have like the bulk. Doesn't have the output. Nothing. And I think Poison is a really good type right now. It just doesn't have it. Next gonna be Clefable / Clefairy. Clefable would probably be like a B. I think Clefable having like Unaware Follow Me is really good, especially with all the Ogerpon stuff, having like the stat boost and everything for the Defiant one and the Fire one that gets a +1. I think that's a really good thing to have right now. So I think that's a good option. Plus, like the Dondozo is still around a little bit, so it's good to have an Unaware Follow Me on. I think Clefairy though is A- to A. Let's put it here for now. We can get back to it. Friend Guard is still really broken. And Clefairy with the Violet is still really strong. And it's really slow. It's really slow. So like, and that's good because you can play it under Trick Room as like a Trick Room answer that you may not normally have. So I think it's a really good option to have. Clefairy. Snorlax, I'm gonna put in B. The reason it's going in B is because I think it's still a good Pokemon. It's not going to be as good as I thought it would be, only because the influx of physical attackers right now is really high, and Snorlax physical defense is not great. And yes, you can sure it up, but it just makes it so like Snorlax can't invest as much in other stats that you might want to, and I think it's going to be a little bit harder for, especially because like even though Intimidate's a thing, the Fire Ogerpon gets like +1, the Grass one gets Defiant boost. Slayer Amulet is kind of a thing, so like there are ways around Intimidate as well. So it's going to be a little bit harder for Snorlax, but that said, it's not going to be impossible, right? It's still going to be a good Pokemon if you want to use it. Sandslash is going to be in D. Doesn't even like abuse anything, like any gimmicks that I can think of. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. VGC wise, not singles, because it's not a singles tier list. But this one I'm going to put in C. Putting this one in C because it does have the Slush Rush, right? And Slush Rush is a good ability. It gives you double speed without having to click Tailwind. It's good into Tailwinder. But just having the speed advantage on go without having to do anything else is good. You can do some stuff with it. It's one of those things in C where it's like you can use this in some way. D feels like unusable. I don't think that a Slush Rusher is unusable. I'm actually gonna skip this because these are supposed to be next to this one. Both the weather setters I'm gonna put in B for different reasons. So for one, both of them kind of get a little bit sort of caught in the open. With all the manual weather around, more so the Alolan Ninetales, because snow is a weather that is, if you have snow on your team, it's just for you, right? Whereas sun, there are other people running sun, and so they're going to click Sunny Day anyway. It's not going to affect your sun team as much as it does affect like a snow team. But the reason they're in the same tier is because overall, Alolan Ninetales is just better than regular Ninetales. So while regular Ninetales is less weak to manual weather, Alolan Ninetales is just kind of better on its own anyway. So I think it's good to. I think it puts them about even right now, in my opinion. I guess we'll go right to these three. So the first one I think is going to be like a A- kind of mine. A lot of people don't like it, but I was looking at its like stats. It's really bulky, good attack stat, decent like speed, a little bit, kind of a little bit more than the middling speed. It's not a fast Pokemon, but it's not like deathly slow either, right? You can still outspeed some stuff in the middle tier if they're not fully invested. Poison fighting is a pretty good typing, like because right now psychic spam is not like a big thing. So you're not gonna have to deal with that 4 times weakness. You take neutral hits from Flutter, which is rare for most fighting types, without even having a Terra. Not only that, but you also hit it back super effective if they do Terra. You're a poison type that's not walled by steel types. You are resisting like Grassy Glide. You're resisting Wood Hammer. You're resisting Ivy Silage from the grass type Ogerpon. But yeah, I think this thing is solid, right? I think it's a little bit better than the B ones, but it's not going to be an A+. I can't really say it's going to be A tier yet. I think it could be, but I'm going to be a little bit conservative with that, right? The Pheasant Dippity one, kind of wanted to put them in like C, but I think they have more. They're better than like. So the reason I have the A, B+, A- tier is because there are some mods that are better than stuff in B, And the B's tier mods are better than like the stuff in C for sure, because I think all of these mods are still better than Alolan Sandslash, right? Pheasant Dippities might not be great, but it's better than Alolan Sandslash for sure. I think we all agree on that, right? It's a 99 speed stat is not terrible. Obviously base 100 would be better. 101 would be phenomenal, but 99 still outspeeds like a lot of stuff in the format because not everything is running like Jolly Max speed. Another thing that resists Fairy, resists Grass, resist Dark, so it has some good resistances. It is weak to ground, which is unfortunate, but can't cover for everything. You get good spread moves. You can poison stuff. You can slow things down with Icy Wind. You can get a speed drop and a poison on the same turn. So that's actually pretty a unique role that it can play for you. It doesn't do any damage though, so just consider that it's not picking up any KOs at all, ever. Even super effective hits are just not picking up KOs. You would chip stuff down with the damage and the toxic, but you're not going to pick up any knockouts. This one is also going to go in B. I think that it's fast. It's like base 106 speed. And it's a special attacker, right? The problem is we have better fast special attackers by a lot, right? The thing probably gonna be a little bit more in a supporter role where you max out the speed and you max out like the bulk, and like you let the special attack stack just work on its own. It's like 130 or something like that, or yeah, I think base 130 special attack, which is pretty nice. But it's like fast fake out, parting shot, and other support moves that are not blocked by like Psychic Terrain or Prankster. So I think that, or like blocked in the same ways that Prankster are blocked. I think it'll be solid in that role. Something that you could definitely use, still better than like a Alolan Slash. That's why it's going to be in B tier, but it's not as good as like these at all. I might even move this up because I'm using it to represent Fairy, so I might even put that a little bit higher because it's more proven than this mon is right now, right? The Ogerpons, I'm going to put them all in S. Better remain jumping in here. So I didn't realize you couldn't see the actual S tier. Because I didn't scroll down, so I just wanted to point that out. So I apologize for that. But it doesn't actually really affect the discussion of the video. I just wanted to point that out in case you guys were wondering. Back to the video. Because Ogerpon, they all have the same stats. All their abilities are good. Now, as the meta develops, different Ogerpons will probably take a step above their other ones. But for now, because they're all essentially the same Pokemon, I'm going to leave them all in S. They're great. They all get a stat boost on Terra. They all have a good ability in base. And Ivy Sigil is one of the best moves that they've ever invented in this game. Period. Poliwrath is going to go in C. Something that you can use. C is going to be like the can use tier. It doesn't mean it's a great Pokemon, but it's just not terrible like the D ones. Swift Swimmer takes advantage of the rain, so you don't have to like set up speed control for it. It's already kind of automatic. It does get like Swift Swim Hypnosis, which is kind of interesting, right? Swift Swim then Liquidation, Swift Swim like Choice Band Liquidation if you want to do something like that. So it has like some things that you can like have some fun with it at least. This also going to put here because it's not as good as the stuff above it. If its ability was like something where you could spam it and just swap it out, swap it in, swap it out, swap it in, then I think it would be a lot better. But it doesn't. Apparently, it only activates one time, and that's it. If you switch it out, switch it back in, it does not activate again. And I think that's really unfortunate for this Pokemon. I think it could have been so much better if they did it all the time, because then you could like, your Hypnosis can like, you can spam Hypnosis, you can spam Hydro Pump. You can just like spam your inaccurate moves. Even when like Groudon came out, right? Comes out. Precipice Blade's more accurate or 100% accurate. But nope, they just so then if your opponent like swaps out and swaps back in, they no longer have the evasion drop. So it doesn't even like matter because you can't reset it. So that's it kind of, just because like I said, it's just better than Arbok and Sandslash type mods. So that's the only reason it's going in C. Golem is not better than those mods. It's going in D. This one is better than the stuff here. We're going to go in B. Another editor's note. So I didn't know that this Matcha move hits both targets and can burn both and like while it recovers. I know it can burn and recover. I didn't know it was a spread move. So that's different. I think I would have bumped it up maybe to the B minus A plus, B plus A minus tier. My apologies. But yeah, I just want to say that. Back to the video. It has some good tools and good moves. The stats are distributed weird. It's like 70 speed, so it's not faster than anything or slower than anything. I think was it the special defense, or the special defense is pretty low. Like it dies, it gets splattered across the wall from a spec shadow ball. Even a booster energy shadow ball, even like maybe a base one to just take it out. But it has like cool tools. It has like the gotcha, whatever move. It's kind of like a scald, but you recover, but you can burn. It has the move that when you switch it, the ability when you, hospitality ability, switch it in, you get 25% health back, which is pretty actually busted, to be honest. It's pretty broken. So I think B is fair for it for now. It might even be better like going forward. Like I think some crack player is going to figure this thing out and it's going to jump up later on. Victory Belt, I'm sorry, I love you, but you suck. Furret, you also suck. Noctowl, you also suck. Ariados in singles is good, but in VGC you also suck. Politoed is gonna go here and be with the weather setters. Because another thing, like I said, right? They're the most common nanny weathers are sun and rain. So because like you might run into an opposing player that's gonna just use like manual rain, they're not gonna overwrite your weather anyway. So I don't think it's that big of a weakness compared to like snow. It doesn't get Scald anymore, which is unfortunate, but I think it still gets Hypnosis, still gets Parasong. I think it still gets Helping Hand. It gets like Ice Beam, which is good. I think it still gets Muddy. Does it get Muddy Water? I'm not completely sure, so don't quote me on that. Let me know in the comments if it still gets Muddy Water. I can't remember off the top of my head. This is meant to be. This is Gligar, but I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll put Gligar in D, but and like Piloswine in D. Mariana sucks. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have a choice. Holo, I think is in B. I think it's a better weather abuser than these two, so I can't put it in the same tier. I don't think it's like a phenomenal Pokemon, but it's good. Swift Swim, grass and water is kind of a great typing right now because you resist two of the Ogerpons. No, you resist one of them. You resist no, you don't resist either one actually. No, they hit you for neutral. So I'm talking out my ass. It hits them both for neutral. Both of them hit you for neutral, but you hit them both back for neutral as well, right? Which is really good. And you're faster than them if you get the weather up. And it gets like fake out, right? So it's like a fake out rain user, which is kind of fun. And it has like good move coverage and everything. So I think it's solid. Where's the other Wheezing? No, both at the same time. Wheezing kind of sucks because it has too many weaknesses. But it's better than it's not D tier. I'm trolling. It's better than the mons below it. But this Wheezing is probably B comparatively. This one just has less weaknesses. It's only weak to ground and psychic. Not a lot of psychic types right now. And you can play around ground. You can have like air balloon. You can like Sugarberry. You can play around that. This one's weak to ground. It's weak to steel. It's weak to psychic. It's weak to I think it's neutral to poison, whereas this one like resists poison. So like, this one just has added weaknesses. And the offensive trade-off is not enough because it's just not doing a lot of damage anyway. Shiftry is gonna go with these other weather abusers because it has Wind Rider now, right? So Wind Rider is good, so you're not dying to those weakling storms, which normally would kill it. Heat Wave would kill it, but it's not. It's immune to Heat Wave now, which is good. I think it's good for it. It's not going to be as good as anything above it, but it's solid. You can play with it, and you can like do stuff. If your opponent's not ready for like Shiftry, you can beat them for sure. So I think it's a C tier Pokemon. The bugs are both in the trash tier. This one I want to put it in D, but I think it's better than the Pokemon in D. So it gets Hyper Cutter, so it can't be intimidated. It gets some really strong coverage moves. I think I'll put it there for now. It's there for now. My Milotic can go in B. I know people probably think my Milotic should go higher, but it's so passive, yo. It gets Scald, yes. It's like grass type Pokemon food. So like you're forced to pop the Terra or swap. And even now, the grass type Pokemon have gotten so strong that you don't really want to switch in a resistant hit anyway, because you're going to take so much damage. You're going to take like 40% on some of these grass type hits, like Wood Hammer, Ivy Sigil. Or if you don't switch, it's going to get bopped. And like, let's say you Terra and in front of a grass type, just to save the damage, what are you going to do back? Scald? So like, it's just not going to be any higher than like B. I think it's a good Pokemon. It's better than the stuff below it, but it's not like changing the world by any stretch of the imagination. Is the Chimico? Trash. Not VGC legal for Jirachi, but I think would be like S tier, maybe A, maybe S. Who knows? Torterra, Torterra is gonna go in C. It's gonna be in C for no, because it can Terra and it can just Shell Smash stuff now. Wood Hammer, Earthquake, guys, I don't know because it's like a Terra Hog and it's not that good. I'm gonna put them in. I'm gonna put these two in C. So they have usage. You can use them. You can use the Terra. You can use it in front of right. So this one gets like Iron Fist. Iron Fist fake out is pretty fast. Fire typing is good into a lot of things. It's solid. This one, like I said, you can change the weak typing because the ground grass typing is just so weak to ices. Sometimes it's just really bad for it. And it doesn't even get like a water neutrality because of the ground typing. But you can change the type now, and it gets Shell Smash now, and it gets Headlong Rush. So you can use it, right? It has rolls, and it gets like Shell Armor, so you can avoid critical hits. So you can use it. I just don't think it's gonna be like as good as the stuff above it. Not as consistent, right? Shell Armor is not a consistent double strategy. Empoleon's a little bit better. Empoleon, you know what? I'm gonna put Empoleon a little bit higher because I was just looking at it, right? I was gonna put it in this tier, but I was looking at it next to my loading. This one gets competitive, this one gets competitive. This one's a little bit stronger. This one has steel typing to help bolster it defensively a little bit, even though it does add some weaknesses, but also gets like more coverage, right? You get flash cannon as well as hydro pump and water pledge and stuff like that. I think this one's just a scarier Pokemon to see. This one is really passive. This one actually does damage. So I'm going to put it above Milotic. I don't think they're in the same tier. And I think it's better than the other starters because of the buff with giving it competitive. This is going to go in the C just because fast fake out users are always going to have fast fake out users with support. Technician fake outs and stuff like that is always going to be a decent Pokemon that you can use in the role of like your other fake outers. Beyond Mega Speed Boost bug typing is not terrible, right? It's better than D tier mods. Like Speed Boost is always going to be a good ability. Bug typing is really good into grass right now. I think it's bug flying, right? So it 4 times resistant grass, so that's really good. I want to put Glide score in S, but that would be biased. So I'm going to put it in C where it belongs. Ground flying is not a great typing unless you're Landers. Well, I guess when the ice types in the format are not as prevalent, it's fine typing. That's pretty good, right? Because you're immune to like you resist like poison. You resist rock as a ground type, so you're neutral because you're flying typing. You're immune to ground type moves. Does have a good ability in Black Sludge. I mean in Poison Heal, where you can hold a Black Sludge and get health back. Or the Toxic Orb, I should say. You could also use the Hypercutter ability if you want to get some damage off, but it doesn't have like the stats to keep up all the time, unfortunately. Mamoswine, I could put it in C, but it's like stronger than some of the Pokemon that I have in here. So I'm gonna put it in B, right? It has really good like offensive typing. Ground and ice tend to cover like a lot. You hit flying types and you hit steel types. You hit like you hit rock types. Like you hit stuff the other type normally can't hit. You hit it with this. You hit fire types. Ice types can't hit, but the ground typing hit it. So you can hit everything, kind of hit everything with this Pokemon. So yeah, and it gets like oblivious, so you can't be like intimidated or like taunted. I think it's a good Pokemon. It's a B tier Pokemon. Nose Pass, I'm not really sure what I could do with Nose Pass, to be honest. I'm going to count it as Dusclops. I'm going to put it in the same tier as like Clefairy. Just as a bulky support Pokemon, it's always going to be great, right? Trick Room, a Violite, lots of bulk. Does it go down easy? Simple as that. Manaphy is not legal, even though I heard it got something that made it broken. Let me know in the comments, what did Manaphy get that makes it broken in singles now? Darkrai is back. Let me know if Darkrai is still good in singles in the comments as well, please, because I haven't ever played with Darkrai. Shaman, I like Shaman, but it's not legal. And Keldor can go in B because it's a good Pokemon. Probably not going to see it as much as the other stuff because there are other fighting types like Hands that are like the exact same stat distribution. Urshifu like the exact same stat distribution. And it's just pure like fighting, so it just kind of gets blown up by fairy types. So it kind of forces the Terra. Livani is trash. I could be wrong about that. I can't remember everything that it does, but I remember the things that it doesn't do that well. Swanna is trash. Mienshao. I'm putting it in B, but I think it could be higher. I think it's like being a fast fake out user with wide guard and inner focus, so you can't fake out my fake out. I think is really good. I'm gonna put it here for now, but if it don't be surprised, I think thing pops up and it's like strong. It's like I think it's U-turn fast knockoff. It's a good Pokemon. It is a good Pokemon. It doesn't even the whole covert cloak because it has the inner focus to avoid flinches. Mandibuzz, I like a lot. I want to put it in B, but I don't think it has as much use as that stuff. Mandibuzz, no, the dark typing is not great. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in C, unfortunately. Trevenant is C, because the Mandibuzz and Trevenant Pokemon you can use, but like, for example, Trevenant is the same as Dusclops, but Dusclops is infinitely better, right? So you wouldn't really use Trevenant unless it's like your favorite Pokemon. Vagabond is definitely going to be. It's like a base 145 special attack. That's really strong. That's like incredibly strong. And you can like Terra Electric to get like those really boosted analytic Thunderbolts or Thunders, and you're just blowing stuff up. Like I've seen some damage calc with the thing, and it's actually insane. And then like you have Levitate. So if you Terra Electric, you have no weaknesses. So you can invest like all in your bulk and special attack and just nuke things to heaven. Just absolutely send them to heaven. Not a consistent amount above it, but still really strong. Cutie Fly, going C. It's really kind of a fast. It's kind of just outsped now a little bit by certain stuff, but it's a fast speed swapper, and those are always good. Mo is interesting. I'll put it in B for now. most one of those weird ones where it could definitely drop to like C, but it could also move it to like A because it has good stats. The typing is poor, but now you don't have to worry about that as much. It is going to be a Terra Hog if you have it on the team, most likely. But you can use the Fingering Souls move, I think it is, and get like a stab boost on all your stats and drop some health, and then just like swap in like your Sinistcha, and it gets your health back. And then get this boosted Pokemon at full health. And you give like a berry or something, you in business. You kind of in business. Dragon type is just not that bad. It's just Fluttermane just everywhere. I think it's Dragon fighting, so like Fluttermane really just kind of sends it to a bad place. Cramorant, you suck. I like Morpeko. It's fast and it hits hard, so you can put it in can. The ability makes battles a bit inconsistent because you have to. It's hard to not keep track, but it's hard to like say you need to hit a water type with Aura Wheel, and you change the Dark type. Now you may not knock it out because you're not hitting for super effective, right? Same for Dark. If you're trying to hit something with Dark typing, then you switch to Electric. Maybe you're not knocking it out now, right? Who knows? This thing is probably another S tier Pokemon. It's actually better than regular Luciano because it doesn't need the Guts boost, so you don't really have to protect with it. If you can give it a different item like Assault Vest, like Choice Specs, like Throat Spray, you cannot intimidate the special type attack. The special attack you can't intimidate like Scarlet or something. Even then, Throat Spray, Hybrid Voice gives it right back. Blood Moon base 140 special attack. Can't use it twice, but usually you don't need to. You just click it once and you're blowing stuff up. Not only that, but the biggest buff is that it can hit ghost types with its normal and fighting type moves. So you with the Ursaluna regular, you had to play around these switches all the time, right? Are they going to switch in their ghost type? Are they going to switch in their flying type? You could just like spam your normal type moves into anything. Because even the steel types take like 50% sometimes of this Pokemon's Blood Moon's move. And the ghost types they're not immune. So this thing is broken. It's busted. This is the list. Let me know what you guys think of the list here. Let me know what you would move up, what you would move down. Otherwise, I think it's a pretty good list. No, I know it's a pretty good list. It's the best list you've seen. It's the #1 correct list in the world. Otherwise, click a like on the video for your boy. Thank you guys for being here. Please subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.